Morning, everyone. Welcome to the Wealthy Retailer Podcast. I'm your host, Dan Holman. It's week of November 19th. Here we are, hitting off on some headlines this week with my man, Rob Lollisher from Road 55.
Morning,
ton
Dan.
of great stuff to talk about today. Ton of not so great and great. We're going to put some positive spins on some of this stuff. Rob, if we can, are you in the mood for that today?
I am. Yeah, like you said, it's kind of tough yet real headlines, but more importantly, you got some ideas to deal with the toughness, and I think that's pretty important. That poo-poo happens, and sometimes we gotta roll with it and make a plan to get past it. Yeah. So some of the headlines this week, as we're just saying, there's a second wave of closures coming, and we're going to talk a bit about that. Really interesting collaboration between two Canadian clothing icons. Is going to spark our conversation about maybe what independent retailers can do with their own collab. Looking forward, Dan's going to share some ideas of, back to the closure, getting independent retailers to be able to stay in the game when it comes to that. And you may have heard this before, customer service is everything. Well,
that's from our experience.
It is. And we're going to weigh in on that topic again. Never goes away, and it's never not important. So looking forward to that. And finally, great. I'm all about a twist on a good headline. And it's BYOB time. And Unfortunately, folks, it's not the booze. It's not the beer.
Oh.
It's bring your own bubble. And really looking forward to hearing that. A great little story about what retailers are doing with the BYOB. So without any delay, we head into the first story, Dan, coming from cbc.ca. Focuses on Manitoba. They definitely I guess the first in the country to really go, full closure again on many things. Non-essential retail shops will be closed, but they may do delivery and pickup. Same for restaurants, etc. What are your thoughts here, Dan?
Yeah, I kind of said right away when I saw this, yes, misery loves company. Let's chat about what's happening over there. And the reality is, Rob, where November has started out really weird, really soft in a lot of places. The US is coming through 10 days, I'm going to say, of craziness with their election to start November. They're tagged on to more COVID closures. As we move up north here, we've got, the infamous Doug Ford shooting off his yap in Toronto about how bad people are there. And then Manitoba takes a firm stand and says, that's it, we're done. We're closing down. And the reality is this is just the beginning of the next climb, the next battle, the next way for us to outlast, COVID, to be bigger, to be better, to be stronger, to be tenacious. I mean, we're entrepreneurs. We figure it out. I said something last night to a retailer. Listen, your job is to turn shit into sugar. I don't want to hear any more crying. And he's like, well, what do you mean shit to sugar? I'm like, that's what we do. We go out and we curate shit. We curate crap from all over the place, bring it into our stores, dress it up, fancy it up, make it look fabulous. We choose the right product out of a minutia of shit that's out there, and we turn it into gold. We turn it into sugar, man. We turn it into good stuff. And that's who we are. And COVID, no COVID, it doesn't matter. Today or tomorrow can't be any different. We've got to embody my favorite all-time movie character, Jordan Belfort. If your landlord's chomping at your heels, good, pick up the phone. And my best advice for every retailer that's faced with any adversity today, pick up that goddamn telephone. Start calling your customers. There is nothing more empowering to someone than getting this call out of the blue that says, hey, Dan, I was just thinking about you today. For whatever the reason, it doesn't matter. It makes me feel important. And this is how we're going to get past this challenge. And it is, it's coming. It's in front of us. Yeah. And again, we got to figure this out. How do we be bigger, better, stronger? How do we outlive and outlast COVID? And if you're one of those retailers that is still standing after what happened to us in March and April, you're halfway past this battle already. Yeah. Now, it's downhill. It's this downhill slide, not downhill negative, downhill like woohoo, yeehaw, ride the thing to the bottom and then climb back to the top. It's not that big a deal.
we've talked lots about the, like you say, the ones that are here and they're surviving, that they took on a whole new set of new activities to survive.
Yes.
And so, here we are in the second wave. Well, we're just, you're just going to, continue to do what turns out to be, hey, guess what? Those are really good habits that you were building. Customer touch points, the calls, the personalization, that experience side, all the things that, bode really well for independent retailers. And just don't stop doing that, because or you'll be
you can bury your head in the sand. You can cry, woe is me. You can choose to do all of that stuff. You can run, like a scared kid if that's what you want to do. But that's not who we are. That's not why we started these businesses. That's not, I'm not applying to a government job today. I'm not applying to go work for the man. I am the man. I create my own destiny. I'm in charge. And every retailer has to kick themselves in the ass, stand in the mirror and talk to that scared kid in the reflection and say, hey, we got this. We got this. We're strong enough. We're good enough. We're big enough.
Right on. Speaking of, different approaches, our next story, coming off the wire, talks about these two Canadian brands coming together, Roots and Combi.
Yeah, Combi. Combi.
And great quote from the CEO. This is such a natural fit for them. Both of them believe in marketing quality winter products, and their 60th anniversary was coming up, and they wanted to celebrate with another great Canadian brand that's known for its uncompromising commitment to comfort and quality. I like it, from the marketing standpoint. I'm always, collaboration just brings this significant opportunity to introduce yourself to new audiences on the other side of the collaboration. So you read this story. What would you think, Dan?
Yeah, I love the story. Love this idea that Roots and Combi are partnering together. Combi is the glove manufacturer, winter glove and mitt manufacturer. Roots has been this novelty, iconic novelty brand in Canada. And yes, this is a good deal for everybody on that side. And I think, can other retailers be doing this? Can our independents be doing this? Hell yeah. Yeah. Every retailer, no matter what size you are, you have that ability to collab with a vendor, a producer, sorry. They're just like we are, right? We're all looking to capitalize on opportunity. And if you've got an idea on a capsule collection, pick up the phone and call your vendor. Start a conversation that says, hey, this is my idea. What do you think? You'll be surprised at how they respond. And I'm going to tell you, we've got lots of examples of this happening in our marketplace today. It's not something new. Collaboration is as simple as putting your brand on their product or on their goods. It doesn't have to be as complicated as creating your own style, cut, color. It's not that fit. It's not that difficult. And I look to the examples today, Rob, of these retailers that are stepping outside their box and saying, hey, I want to do something that's just me. And we see it. We see, some terrific denim brands in Canada collaborating to make a style or a color or a brand, with a retailer. Yep. My favorite, bought it this morning, my favorite outdoor retailer in the Bow Valley, did a bit of a collab. They put their brand on a non-traditional outdoor product, on a great quilted StormTech piece. And I want to go around wearing their banner because I love that brand so much. And they're iconic in the Bow Valley, and they did this. And it's a different version or a different spin on, these collaborations that I think can drive a bit of market share for the retailer. Yeah. And we need to pay more attention to that opportunity to be us. Consumers, I don't care who you are, what your store is, what products you carry. At the end of the day, the consumer chooses to buy North Face from you. They buy Autumn Cashmere from you, right? They buy CCM product from you or Bauer or Nike, and it doesn't matter what vertical we talk about. The retailer does not walk into your store and buy a brand because you have it. They buy a brand because they trust you. They're giving you the money, not the brand. And the thing is, you look at the North Face, the Canada Goose, the Moose Knuckles. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. All these corporate retailers, big vendors that have opened retail stores, and yet the consumer still buys that product from me. Why? Because you have power. Your brand is worth more than you realize. We are influencers and we don't even know it.
Yeah, right on. Just as we've talked lots about, making activity time within your week for your planning, your marketing, your sales. I would say like there should be every week you're planning your collabs. What am I doing? Such an important activity. And again, when you do take that step back and realize that, there'll be times where maybe you're giving up a little bit of your audience to the collaboration.
Yep.
But mark my words, there will be times that you're just going to expose your brand, your store, all that to this whole new audience because you took the time to find that new collaboration.
And you said it, what goes around comes around.
Yeah.
You might give up something today to get something tomorrow, and that's the world we live in, and that's okay.
Givers gain.
Yes.
Okay, folks. This podcast is brought to you by Canadian Retail Solutions. Let them help you find your cutting-edge retail solution today. If you haven't yet, visit retailbycrs.com. From the latest point-of-sale software to merchandise intelligence, open about buy plans, and more, they are here to help. You're going to help them, right, Dan?
You know what? There's a team standing by, hand up, not out. Here, how do we help? How do we help? Just, again, I don't know why I'm on this Wolf of Wall Street kick today or this week. Maybe it's just because I'm so fired up about people talking about how far off they are, and instead of saying, hey, what can I do to get back on track, we want to bitch and complain about where we are. This is the deal. We're here. If you need help, you just pick up the phone. It doesn't matter what it is. If you think it's unrelated, I don't give a shit. Pick up the phone and call and talk to us. We'll put you in the hands of the right person. And if that's not us, you can bet your ass we know somebody that you can talk to about it.
Right on. Okay.
We do lots of collabs at CRS. So.
Yeah, there we go. Right on. Okay. Bit on this closure talk, and we've learned a lot over these last, whatever it is, 8 months. And we talk about the little guys fighting the big fight against the big guys who, last closure, they had the fortune to all be open while everything else got shut down. What, if anything, Dan, can small retailers start doing today to make sure that they get to stay in the game?
Well, this story that came out of, I think it was Airdrie, wasn't it?
Yeah, sorry. There's a story from Airdrie today talking about this business group really talking about the lockdown loopholes that simply affects small retailers, but in turn benefit these big box stores.
The monsters, yeah. And so my question coming out of that, and I think you kind of keyed off on it, if a retailer sells goods that fall into these categories that allow them exceptions, should they be doing that? Should they be going acquiring those goods? And I'm saying absolutely. We need to do whatever we have to in order to combat the forces that are working against us, no matter what the origin is. And I say whether that's, the COVID excuse or the COVID reason, the excuse, the deflection of blame, onto something I can't control. The reason, the justified, the numbers-driven, data-driven truth. No matter what the origin is that's impacting our business, we have to come up with a game plan to combat that. And I promise you, the retail giants are out there today lobbying for closures. They're saying, this is the best thing. Let's get this virus under control. And you and I both know what happens in another lockdown. The big guy wins, the little guy loses. And so the way that us independents, I believe we're bigger than what most of us believe we are. Us big time independents need to take advantage of these opportunities. You need to carry products in your store that allow you to become an exception. We carry PPE, we carry food and beverage products, household items, cleaning products, hardware, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This article really spoke about, and of course, it hit me, right in the feels. It talked about, a bookstore, a local bookstore closing their doors and watching their customers continue to buy books at Walmart. That is the biggest load of bullshit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a bookstore, put a pop container in your store. I don't care what it is. Put some level of food and beverage. Put cleaning supplies. Put PP. How many stores can you walk in today that they're not already selling personal protective equipment? There's not a fashion retailer out there right now that's not selling masks.
Yeah.
And if there is one out there, that's a categorical miss on your part, right? That's PPE.
Yeah, totally. And it's a loophole, but it's something, you're just trying to find that opportunity to.
Right. And I mean, people are going to continue to run scared of this pending restriction, pending lockdown. But I'm going to say right now, retail will not close. They're just going to throw, a few more restrictions at us, a few more, dip, dive, duck opportunities for us to figure out how to continue doing business. Your door may not be propped wide open, but that does not mean you stop doing business. And that's the way we have to look at this. Not woe is me. It's like, get out of my way.
Yeah.
We're going to figure this out.
You forgot Dodge in the dip dive.
I know. I was going to say it again, and then I thought, okay, we've had enough of the dodgeball references. Let's talk about the wolf references today.
Can there be too much dodgeball reference? I don't think so. Right on. We talk about this each week, folks, where we did dive into some of the different steps that you can focus on to help your retail operation. This week, we wanted to talk about, customer experience being everything. It is everything. And Dan, remind us of some good takeaways that we can all take to our store today.
For sure. And Rob, we did this, we did a webinar, a holiday 2020, Are You Prepared? Webinar with the city of St. Albert yesterday. And this slide, I've carried this slide with me, adapted it, modified it, adjusted it. I've carried this slide with me through probably 50 different presentations. And it still holds true. And you want to go over to thewealthyretailer.com or retailbycrs.com and check out our 12-step video. Customer experience is one of what we believe the essential steps, crosses that you need to bear to become wealthy in retail and to be in this place where we achieve retail wealth. And customer experience today, in today's world, right now, is all about you being excited to be in retail. You've got to create an energy in and around your store that attracts people, that does not repel them. People are already burdened with the weight of the BS that's happening in our world right now. And your job is to be an actor. Your job is to stand up on stage and entertain me. Take my mind off of my trouble. And this is all about energy. We walk into a store, we want it to be energetic. When that person picks up the phone, when I'm calling in to place my order, I want energy. I don't want to see this doom and gloom. I want energy. And this speaks to your customer's experience. You need to be prepared in your store today. You need to treat your store like it's your home. It's clean, it's comfortable, it's safe. And she needs to hear that from you. She, women rule the world when it comes to retail. They make the buying decisions. Everything you do in your store today needs to be to improve, enhance her experience in your store. You need to create these predetermined traffic paths in your store that allow her freedom to move through. We share positive messaging in our stores. Positivity, no doom and gloom. I went to a retail store on Saturday. I talked about this yesterday on the webinar. I went to this retail store on Saturday and I did not buy a frickin' thing because I was so turned off with the do not touch signs. This is a tactile world. I went into that store to touch and feel the product that I was going to buy. If I didn't want to touch and feel it, I'd have spent my money somewhere else. And you know where I would have spent that money, right? I got in my car, drove to that store to be turned off by negative messaging in that store. This is not about me whether I believe or don't believe in COVID. This was about the message that they were sending to their retail audience. It was not positive, it was negative. Please do not touch. Are you kidding me? How am I supposed to feel it? How do you expect me to try something on if I can't touch it? I'm in your store for that and only that reason, to see how this product makes me feel. So this is about your customer experience. You've got to be positive. No doom and gloom signage. You must continuously rotate your inventory, your merchandise layout. Your freshness is paramount in driving business today. You've got to continue to rotate your inventory. And the last thing I'll say about customer experience, on a regular basis, you need to walk in that front door, stop, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and then open your eyes and hear what she hears, see what she sees, smell what she smells. Use sensory experience to make her feel comfortable. Customer experience is everything. It is the leading contributor to spending more money, never questioning how much something costs. Everybody has their own price, quality, value equation. That equation gets shifted based on experience. You want to fly swoop? You're not getting anything to eat or drink, or you're paying for bags. You want to fly first class? You're going to get treated differently, and your value equation changes. I know I'm using a flight analogy here, and we're not really flying anywhere, but it doesn't change. The better I feel about a store, the less likely I am to question the price, or worse, get on my phone and price check you. Customer experience is everything, brother.
Right on. That was great. Thanks for sharing that. And, we will keep reinforcing that message, because, boy, the importance of it just never changes. So,
yeah.
Well, Dan, let's end. We got a great story to bring us home here, because it
bring your own Baileys
on both things. Yeah, I'm bringing beer. You bring the booze and the Baileys, but don't forget your bubble. We're talking about these lockdowns. We're talking about ways that retailers can overcome. Love this story. It came, ctvnews.ca carried it, talking about the shops in downtown Timmins that have launched their Bring Your Own Bubble initiative, where they're encouraging you. I believe you can bring up to 10 people. You can book your appointment. They will literally lock the store down. Your bubble walks in, your bubble walks out. What'd you think when you read this story, Dan?
First thing I thought was bring my own booze. I love this, bring my own bubble. And Rob, you and I, you've been hammering on this for several weeks. What are some holiday selling strategies? And this is, in fact, one of the tactics or strategies that we talk about. This is an opportunity for us to do business. If you go back to those holiday tips, we talked about creating these small, intimate, VIP shopping events for your top spenders. This is it. This is exactly what these retailers are doing. This retailer said, hey, bring your own bubble between 5:30 and 6:30 at night. You can walk into my store and lock the door behind you. You can bring up to 9 people with you, and I will entertain your cohort, your bubble in my store. You heard what I said. I will entertain you in my store. I'm not going to sell you a bunch of shit you don't need. I'm going to entertain you. I'm going to help you buy the things you need to buy. And there is no better time for you to do this than right now. Pick up your phone. Here I am, Jordan Belford again. Pick up the phone, call your best customers, and tell them what you're doing in your store today. Hey, listen, why don't you grab 3 or 4 girlfriends, come on over, we'll lock the door behind you, and we'll help you create your holiday wish list. We'll help you knock the things off. You need to knock the things off for your kids. Hey, we're going to help you find something for your husband. Better yet, husbands, grab 2 or 3 of your buddies and come on over and let's fix what you need to do for your wife for Christmas, or your spouse or your partner. This is the best time to create these opportunities.
What I love about this is they talk about it in terms of health and safety from the bubble, but it quickly will transition to the VIP white glove experience that you got your top whatever number that is. What a great initiative to really again, this is almost like a little collaboration where you're working your top customers, and the bring a friend thing. Well, bring
Right.
9 friends. Guaranteed, you're going to be expanding your audience that night. So, yeah.
And I can tell you this: if somebody picked up the phone, if somebody took the initiative to pick up the phone, and call Marlene and say, "Hey, Marlene, do you want to bring your girls in and come on in and have a private, VIP shopping experience? We'll lock the door behind you. You guys can free roam through the store. We can, we'll have maybe some champagne, maybe some chocolate, maybe a beer, whatever it is." Do you think she's going to turn that down? She's going to be texting her girls immediately saying, Hey, do you want to come over to ... with me? Yep. We've got an hour that we can go do a bunch of Christmas shopping right now.
Yep. Probably is it wrong of me to say it's a little bit of gratitude for the opportunity, but there's a little bit of guilt inside there too, where, well, if I go there, I got to spend some money. Like I can't take an hour of their time and not buy anything. So,
and they're not going to not buy something. Totally. They're going to leave there with something. And the more entertained we are, the bigger our chit is.
I was going to say, who's this chick you're talking about?
Yeah, bigger our chit, the bigger our ticket, the bigger our average sale goes. Our dollars per transaction, way higher. And Rob, this is about us being capitalists. It's about us looking to an opportunity to springboard off of something negative and turn it into a positive. Oh my gosh, isn't that what every motivational speaker out there has ever said to us? Turn your negatives into positives, you'll change your life.
Yeah, right on.
Right.
Good stuff this week, Dan. And folks, there's going to be a few more. We got some other stories that we didn't get to this week. If you haven't yet, head to retailbycrs.com, sign up for the newsletter. Each week we fire out a great package little news letter that has the links to some of the stories we just talked about, as well as links to some more. Some of them are this one about Canadian mall landlords are innovating with the virtual Santa experience. I kind of put my competitive hat on right away and say, hey, retailers who aren't in the mall don't have that. That was their competitive advantage. Yeah. Well, guess what? They're doing it virtually now, and you could be the little store down on the corner. You can create a virtual Santa experience if you want to engage with your customers. So I think there's opportunity there. We've got a link to the Canada Post. They talk about the Tales of Triumph contest they had. Maybe spark an idea for you there. Story of an online boutique that's offering a safe opportunity for shoppers to give back. So, posing that question, are there any give back strategies that you might consider? And there's a story about this, the largest multi-client logistics facility in Canada just opened near Toronto. So again, just that thought bubble of, are there opportunities that lie in a shared logistics facility? So those stories and more in the weekly newsletter. Thanks a lot, Dan. That was a lot of good stuff.
Yeah. Just one reminder, guys, head over to your favorite podcast platform. Don't care what it is, your favorite podcast platform. Search out The Wealthy Retailer and subscribe to our podcast. Share it, leave us a message, click the like, do whatever you have to do to, promote good retail messaging. Love you guys, man. Happy retailing this week.
Right on. Take care.